Expedition 26 Commander Scott Kelly, welcome home. 159 days in space, quite an expedition. What were your thoughts as you undocked today and the Soyuz backed away from the station that had been your home for almost 6 months?
Well, I guess I reflected on how much work we did and how much we accomplished, and thought that it's such an amazing research facility that we built. And, so impressive that as human beings we were able to accomplish something like that, building that and using it. It's a place I'm going to miss. I certainly looked forward to getting back to Earth, and I have a lot more things I look forward to, but I'll definitely miss the space station. Maybe I'll get to go back again.
The impressions you had as you left the station, what was entry like? Your first impressions as they opened the hatch, it looked like a scene out of the North Pole.
Well, entry was, I've heard so much about how the Soyuz entry is kind of, a little on the rough side. So it was sort of what I expected, which is a series of explosions followed by a car crash. And then when the hatch opened, it's just quite refreshing to get that cold air and snow blowing inside the capsule. It was definitely a once in a lifetime experience.
You're fresh out of your mission here, but in reflection, what do you consider to be the major accomplishment of your expedition? There was so much to choose from.
That's really hard to say because we did so much. There were so many visiting vehicles. There was a lot of maintenance done on certain systems of the space station that I was involved in. Certainly, a lot of science was done. I think it's really hard to say there's one major accomplishment. I think it's really the accomplishment of the whole team in putting such a complicated plan together and executing it. And I guess that's what I'm most proud of.
Scott, it goes without saying that the wounding of your sister-in-law in January represented the test of a lifetime for you in orbit, and obviously for your brother. How difficult a period of time was that for you, as basically being in orbit, unable to lend hands-on assistance to your brother at a time of crisis like that?
Well, it certainly was difficult. Now, having said that, it was, something that both Mark and I are, kind of trained to deal with as military pilots, just putting your, personal issues aside and focusing on what your job is. So, although I would have preferred to be able to, help them in person and, assist as best I could, I, recognized that my place was on the space station and, just focused on my work. And I called him and my kids as much as I could, and other, friends and family as much as I could, to try to support them. And, there's not a whole lot of support you can provide in space other than, just emotional on the phone. But I tried to do that as best I could.
The reports on her recovery are so encouraging. What are you looking forward to the most when you get reunited with your brother?
No, just seeing him and talking to him and seeing how he's doing, and talking in person versus a cell phone or a satellite phone with very sporadic coverage that you're always waiting for when the satellite pass is over. So that'll be nice.
Scott, final question. Your expedition was so much triumph, tinged with the tragedy. For you, when you think you'll have time to reflect on it all, what do you think the highs and lows will be for you?
Well, certainly the low is when Gabby was shot, along with all the other Tucson victims, without a doubt. And I mean, when you hear you get a phone call that the chief of the astronaut office wants to talk to you immediately, you know it's not good news. And then to get news like that was just shocking and very sad and tragic. The highs, It's like how I answered the other question. It's really kind of hard to say because we had, a lot of different variety of work with visiting vehicles and working on certain systems on the space station. Certainly ULF 5 being there was, a lot of fun to have visitors, and the HTV work we did was pretty complex with the robotics and getting it, first berthed and then, partially unloaded and then moved back. So I would say those two things.
Scott Kelly, Expedition 26 Commander, welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rob.